Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the Shameless Freedom Podcast. And today we are going to be diving deeper into this concept of asking and receiving and declaring, right? We hear the phrase, knock and the door shall be opened. Ask and you shall receive. And this word that has really been coming home to me more is declaration, because I've heard over the years so many coaches say, just claim it. If you want something, just claim it. And if you're like me, I'm sure there have been many times where you have said things to yourself like, well, I thought I claimed it. I mean, I said I wanted it. I wrote it down. I said it out loud, but it didn't happen. And I want to just dive into that a little bit more because what I think is really important is understanding the difference between asking and declaring. Like, how often do we ask people for their support? We ask God for answers or things into our lives. And many times we may actually ask without a clear knowing that's going to happen, without this answer of a clear yes, a clear expectation that this is happening. And I think so many of us pray, but do we pray without ceasing? Do we pray with that declaration that this is happening? I think back to when I went to Italy, and after I came back, there were so many amazing things happening in my world. And I declared to my son Andy, and I said, our entire family is upleveling. This is what's happening, right? And I just knew it. And we actually took we had little champagne glasses. Well, he didn't have champagne, but and we did cheers to it. And after that, in the next few months, I saw these amazing things happening in my children's lives. And we know our words are powerful. We know that. But do we actually realize the words that we are using on a regular basis? It's one thing to say something during the day or in the morning and when you reflect at night, but during the day, how often are we contradicting ourselves and what we truly want in life? And I've been getting a lot of questions recently on this amazing golf trip experience that I had with my four boys. I decided earlier this year, since all four of my kids happen to be back in the same town, that I wanted to do something amazing with them because they're now, gosh, you know, 25, 23, 21, and then 16, right? So when again are we going to have the opportunity to have family vacations, just us, right? The next time there'll probably be some type of partner that's involved, or somebody can't make it because of their work schedule. You know how that all goes, right? When you have a big family and kids grow up, you no longer have control over their schedules. So, anyway, I thought this was going to be a fascinating way for us to not just connect and bond, but also up level again. I decided that I wanted to take my kids to a really nice, fancy golf course. Rather than saying, hey, we're just gonna, go somewhere local over here and spend 50 to 100 bucks or whatever it was. And I really felt into this. I felt called. This was a true, real desire. And I think this is something that we shy away from. as women, as moms, of what is my true desire? What do I really want? And to say yes to it and to say, you know what? I'm not sure where the money's going to come from. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to trust that because this was a desire and I have this relationship with God and with abundance and unlimited supply that I know we will be provided for. And I kept telling my children that we were going to up level. Now, see, this time I told them before we all went on the trip. It wasn't an after the fact. And what I found fascinating is how we all showed up. What was really cool, I don't know how many of you moms out there, they've got multiple kids. Like all I wanted a family photo of people dressed nicely. You guys all know what I mean out there. If you've got multiple children, you might have one that says, no, I'm not taking a photo, or one that sticks their tongue out or their finger, or, puts bunny ears, or you name it, right? I'm sure you have been there. And actually, that's all I wanted. And they all dressed up in their golf attire, which was great. And went on this amazing, like, fun experience. But here's the fun part of the story that I think is really cool and important is setting these intentions and these declarations before going, talking with my kids about it, really feeding into it and declaring that we were going to have this amazing up-level experience. And we arrived at the hotel and kids went up to the room and I was doing other plans at the front desk. And by the time I got to the room, they're like, there's only two beds for the five of us. Like I thought there was a couch. And I said, well, there's supposed to be a couch. And my son said, I'll just sleep on the floor. Just give me some pillows and blankets. I'll be just fine. I'm like, no, that's not what this experience was about. We're not settling for having one of you sleep on the floor. So I went to the front desk and nicely had a conversation with them and basically said, I made these reservations 6 months ago and this is what we agreed upon. And they said, ma'am, I'm sorry, we're sold out. Like there's really nothing that we can do. And I know that if you are in an establishment that wants to take care of their people, that they are going to go out of their way to make this up to me and to make it right. Now, I didn't know what that was going to be. I had no clue, but I knew that they were going to take care of me. And it was really cool, even just going back and watching the replay in my head of how I handled the situation. And was I not happy? Of course. But I declared what I wanted and what I expected and how I knew that they were going to contact some manager who was going to make it right in whatever way, shape, or form that was going to be. And the really cool thing is that when we came back from golfing, they said, Miss Bagayski, we think you're going to be so happy with your room. We walked in and it was a 4-bedroom suite. Talk about up level. Talk about abundance. Let me just think for a minute. Like I declared we were all up level. That we were going to have this amazing up leveled, wealth filled experience. Now, I didn't tell God and the universe this is exactly how it's going to happen. I just claimed and declared and said it is so and expected it to be so. And when you do that, And you can lean into and surrender to what is happening in front of you and be grateful for what is happening as opposed to being mad or frustrated at what is showing up for you. You can allow amazing things to unfold. What's so funny is, as I'm even saying this, I'm thinking about past times where I have been so frustrated with things that didn't go my way, things that did not go as planned. And how differently I handled those situations and how differently I've handled this situation. And I can see the growth and the conscious awareness in regards to surrendering to ego and dropping into the feminine. And this is something that we do not do enough of in our lives. We as women struggle with surrendering, with dropping into the moment, being grateful for whatever is happening in the moment, but expecting something better is going to come from this. And when my boys walked in the room, they were like, holy crap, we each have a bed now. We each have our own bathroom. And I share this because this is the power of embodiment work and sensuality. There are definitely mindset components to this experience. But mindset alone did not do this. This was about energy. This was about frequency. This was about tapping in and tuning into my feminine energy and my vibration. Now, one of the things that I have also done, um, preparing for this experience as well too, is something that I would like to share with you, which is my magic water. And this here is an amazing resource and tool. This is hydrogen water. I like to call it magic water. And what it actually does is it clears out the toxins in your water. And it also has, I don't know if you can see, it has these frequencies and vibrations in the water bottle that mimic the the frequency of the sun. And I have been utilizing my magic water with my mindset declarations and my embodiment practices to raise my vibration and raise my frequency, to be in that state that allows you to attract more of what you want in life. Because the truth of the matter is, it's not just about affirmations every day, because those can feel mundane. They can feel, I don't want to say boring, but monotonous. If you don't feel it, you don't feel the shift, you're not going to have that shift in frequency. You see, the truth is, our words are our wand. When you can speak words, your words have vibration, they have energy. And this water also has vibration and frequency and energy. Now, think about it for a moment. Our bodies are made of over 75% water. When you can activate your water, purified water, and activate it with high level vibration frequencies. Combine that with speaking to your water and declaring what you are claiming for yourself, for your family, for your business, and then drinking it. It goes directly to the cells that need it so that you can not just absorb the water, you are absorbing the frequency of the words, the frequency of this high vibration water. In addition to embodiment practices that continue to just raise your vibration. This here, my friends, is an amazing resource that is available to us. The last morning when we were in the hotel and getting ready to pack up, I said to each of my boys, we are all going to declare something for ourselves and for each other. Because when two or more are gathered, amazing things happen, but you have to declare it. And you have to believe it. There is an expectation. And when you can be in this state of knowing there's an abundance in the world, knowing God is our supply, and declaring with expectation, amazing things unfold for you. So if you are curious to learn more, I invite you to reach out. Like, this here is more powerful than you know. There's actually even more I can talk to you about in regards to the power of water, the power of magic water, the power of combining mindset, frequency, embodiment together. That's going to allow you to step into a new layer of who you are. If anyone is interested, I have my Shameless Freedom Live event that I am going to be hosting in September 19th and 20th this fall in Plainfield, Illinois. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to dive deeper into the feminine, learn how to let go, surrender, to be in that feminine power, to own your pleasure, to bring in more prosperity, and we will all get the chance to experience magic water at its finest. So, if you're interested in learning more about either of those, reach out and I can share more information for you. But I want to leave you with this last thought of the power of declaration, consistency, and embodiment to raise your frequency, to call in all that you desire.